And a good Sunday evening to you, meteorologist Dan Skeldon here. Not your traditional tidal flooding talk this Sunday night, as I am at work in the Weather Center, working a rare Sunday night. So we'll be back at the Irish Pub next Sunday with our scheduled guest for this week, Bill McCord from the Summers Point OEM. So he's graciously agreed to push things back a week. Got Tom LeMaine lined up for Labor Day weekend. I'm excited for those upcoming guests. Should be a couple of great interviews that we do in the peak of hurricane season. So who better to talk to than emergency management officials and meteorologist Tom LeMaine, synonymous with South Jersey weather forecasting. He's flown into hurricanes and forecasted hurricanes, and he has an interesting theory. I was talking with him on the phone today, so we'll chat with Tom on Labor Day weekend. And Bill McCord will be our guest next Sunday night, and we will talk about hurricane preparedness and as the peak of hurricane season comes up. Feel free to post your questions and comments. We'll be back at the Irish Pub next Sunday with co-host Paul McCarty and our guests. This Sunday, like I said, in the Weather Center on a day where most people were probably bummed about the weather. I actually loved it. I love the cool cloud. Now, it's not good for businesses. It's not good for a summer weekend. I realize that, but I prefer this over 90-something degree heat and humidity. So, a day where you don't feel guilty staying inside, right? And better weather's ahead for most of the week. So today, kind of a fall preview. Highs were only in the lower 70s. That's more typical of mid to late September rather than mid-August. Our average high should be between 80 and 85, and we are heading back between 80 and 85 going forward. So I do think that most of this upcoming week, so fear not, this is not the start of fall. It's just a one-day little fall preview. And it wasn't because the air mass was cool. It was because we had a little coastal low, and it was rainy and cloudy with the northeast wind. That's the reason it was cool today. So we haven't really had that first official, big cool shot from Canada. This wasn't it, nor do I see it anytime soon. So again, no worries. It is not the start of fall. It is not the end of summer just yet, but we do expect to start taking some steps, gradual steps over the next month. Now, it is also hurricane season, and we are in a little bit of a lull right now. We had a tropical storm off our coast last couple of days. You probably couldn't tell because it just shot right out to sea. That was Kyle. Josephine is not a threat to anybody, so not concerned about Josephine. There is some activity off of Africa now and farther out into the Atlantic. That we're a little concerned with, but it's mid-August. We're going to get storms. We just hope they all weaken or stay out to sea if they don't weaken. So we are going to watch a couple of areas of low pressure or a couple of tropical waves that may develop into storms. And remember, we're already up to the L storm. So we're already, 11 storms into the season? In an average season, we have 12. All right, so, we're going to go to like 20 to 25 this year. We may or may not run out of names. If we run out of names, we go to the Greek alphabet. We talked about that on past TFTs with Jim Eberwine and Joe Martucci and all about the naming nomenclature for storms. So for now, a little bit of a lull, but I don't expect it to last. I do think, mid to late August to mid-October is going to be a very busy time in the tropics. Now, we could have 15 storms, and if they all stay out to sea, that's great. It's still a busy year, but if none hit land or, they stay spinning out over the ocean and they're fish storms, they recurve out to sea, that is great. Who cares if it's a busy year? If there's only 5 storms instead of 15 and all 5 hit land, that's bad news. And while we can predict it's going to be a busy year, we can't predict where the storms are going to go. So we just track them one at a time going forward. All right. Ann Reynolds, I agree. We need a break from the heat. Kristen Kaiser, hi to you. And again, the big heat is not coming back. The 90s, I'm not saying we're done for the year with 90s, but I do think we're done for the next 7 to 10 days. I don't see any big, surges of heat and humidity. All right, so we are seasonably warm in the low to mid 80s. It's going to be a little humid tomorrow. Humidity might go away a little bit for the middle of the week. It comes back by next weekend. You know, some days it's like 85, 86, 87. That's seasonable, but I think nothing that's going to rival July going forward. All right, so I don't see, I think the worst weather for heat of the summer was July, and I do think that, you know, the next month, the focus won't be on the heat necessarily, but on the tropics. So we're going to have to watch each of these tropical waves as they come through. One off of Africa now, one is farther out into the ocean, going to enter the Eastern Caribbean over the next couple of days. That one will have to be watched, but there's no imminent threats for the United States or the East Coast. So that's good news as well. And really, outside of today's gloom, which again, I was a fan of, I don't want 10 days of it in a row, but you know, one day of this, I think, breaks up the heat nicely, makes you appreciate the sunshine even more. See Kenzie and Amanda, my wife and daughter, are on. Nice to see them. Have to be away from them on a Sunday night. So, but we're building Kenzie a playroom and put together her chairs and tables and toy bins and lots of toys to fill up those bins. So, so always miss Kenzie when I can't see her at night. But she's in good hands with her mom. And so hi to Amanda and Kenzie. Nice to have you guys on too. Maria Afranuti, nice to have you on too. Nice to see you. Kevin DaCosta, nor'easter season should be very active this year. Well, it could be, you know, depending on the water temperatures, how much water is left over, and the storm track. You know, one thing, Kevin, we had at the beginning of the summer and that we're getting now is blocking. What that is, it's way up in the North Atlantic over Greenland, Iceland. We have blocking. And when that happens, in the wintertime, you usually get cold and snowstorms. We didn't have it last winter. We had it April, May, June, and that made for pretty lousy weather in April, May, June. You know, it was either wet or cool or cloudy or you know, at times it was unseasonably chilly. We had that blocking in April, May, June. It made for a not so great spring. Now the blocking's coming back. If that blocking is there in the wintertime, then you have, you know, cold, and you have an active nor'easter season normally. You know, the warm water can lead to trouble for nor'easters too. And remember, nor'easters are, there's no official nor'easter season. You know, hurricane season is June 1st through November 30th. You know, the meat of the season for the East Coast is August 15th to October 15th. That's for, like, you know, Delaware, New Jersey, up through New England, middle of August through the middle of October. That's when we get more of our storms. We could get them in July. We got Isaias a couple of weeks ago with, you know, the tornadoes and the flooding were the main thing with that. That was a tropical storm. We can get storms in July. I suppose we could get one in November, although things don't favor it too much. It's late August, all of September, early October, which is the peak of the season. And of course, Sandy happened in late October. Nor'easter season is unofficial. We don't name nor'easters. We don't have an official season. But I'd say there's a little bit of an overlap. Nor'easters can start as early as mid-October. You know, we've had some pretty strong nor'easters. In the last 10 years, in mid-October, the peak of nor'easter season is November through March, but then we can have nor'easters all the way to April and May. So Mother's Day back in 2008, maybe 2009, there was a pretty unusually strong late season nor'easter on Mother's Day. So, you know, nor'easter season is kind of like Columbus Day to Mother's Day. That's, you know, how long that season is, and there's an overlap with hurricane season. So, in short, we can never really let our guard down. Christine Stevens, nice to have you on too. Roger Cope, right back at you. I'm sure, I agree. Miss seeing you guys. Not that we do that often, but we have to schedule something soon. Marianne Hughes, nice to have you on as well. So that's where we are. Tidal Flooding Talk will be back next Sunday night. So the next 2 Sundays from the Irish pub, we're socially distanced. The restaurant inside is closed, so we're alone, just like I am in the Weather Center here tonight. And then the Saturday of Labor Day weekend, we'll have a show as well. So it will be the next 2 Sundays and then the following Saturday, and we'll have a great guest. And one of our guests just chimed in with a comment, Bill McCord. from Summers Point is going to be our guest next Sunday. He was gracious enough to slide back a week to accommodate a few things, and really excited to have him on talking preparedness and his responsibilities, and he'll be there to take your questions as well. Nancy O'Hara, unlike me, is not a fan of this weather. She's a beach girl, so she's hoping to bring back the sunshine and didn't like today. I loved it, Nancy, but we are going to bring back the sun. Actually, tomorrow, partly sunny, maybe a shower or a thunderstorm in the afternoon or evening, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday, all look to be pretty good days. So we have some nice weather coming up for most of this week. Not too hot, not too cool. Today was 70 something. All of July was 90 something, where I think we're squarely in the 80s most of the rest of this week. And again, the tropics are going to be simmering the next week. Nothing dangerous right now, but we're going to watch that simmer as things pop up. I think from this week through Columbus Day, tropics are going to be troublesome. We hope the storms all stay away. If they don't, of course, we will let you know. Let's see, Mary Rose Mangan on vacation, looking forward to better weather. You're going to get it, Mary. This is Mary Rose. I'm sorry, Mary Rose Mangan. This was a bad day. If you have the whole week off, this was the day. The rest of the week looks pretty good. In fact, outside of a shower or thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon or evening, I think we might have to wait till next Sunday or late next Saturday and Sunday for a shower or thunderstorm. So hopefully a drier week of weather. And it's been pretty wet over the past couple of weeks, so we could stand a chance to dry things out. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey have been wet. New England's been very dry. I know I talked to my folks up there. They really need the rain. Most of New England, upstate New York. So western Pennsylvania in a drought as well. So western PA, New York, New England, all very dry. New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania wet. Wish we could even it out and make the dry areas wetter and the wet areas drier, but of course Mother Nature doesn't work that way. So you are watching this week's tidal flooding talk. Again, not really talking. There was a little bit of tidal flooding today. Rest of the week we're looking pretty good. No storms, no tropical systems imminently going to threaten us. No severe storms going to threaten us in terms of thunder and lightning or like major severe weather. Could be a thunderstorm tomorrow, but and no big heat waves either. Mid to late August can be a quieter time. We're not as hot, we're not as humid. If the tropics behave, we do okay. Although I want to say back in like 2013, 2014, there was a really miserable August week. I've never seen anything like it. I felt so bad for people on vacation where, you get those weeks in March and April where it's gloomy all week and, it's just damp and dreary and depressing. Very, very seldom can you get that in July and August. It was like August, 15th to the 23rd, like 8 full days of drizzle and fog and clouds and unseasonably cool temperatures. Like I said, I've never seen anything like that in August. So it can get bad this time of year, but it's very, very rare. Normally, mid to late August is a pretty good time for vacations because, again, you're past the hottest time of summer. It can still get hot, absolutely. But, July and early August are the hottest times of summer. That's when your most 90-degree days happen. But 90s can happen right through early October. So I don't think we're done with the 90s yet, but I think we're done with the hottest part of the summer. And now we focus on hurricane season for the next 8 weeks, I think. It's going to be busy. Doesn't mean trouble for anybody, but it could, and that's why we keep an eye on things. Tidal Flooding Talk will be back with Paul McCarty and Bill McCord. If Bill's still on, get your questions ready for Bill. First-time guest. Really excited to have him. September 5th, Saturday, Labor Day weekend, Tom LeMaine will be on, from a meteorologist from CBS 3, Longport Media, DJ. You'll hear him on the Sixers. Pilot. He's done so much with his life. Tom's a really interesting guy. He'll be on, and we'll fill in the holes there with some additional great gaps for you as well. Great guests for you as well. So we'll see you back here. Eileen Reisler, nice to have you on. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the nicer weather. I promise you, it gets better than today. All right? Even if you like today, like I did, the sunshine's going to come back, and it's going to get a little better, brighter, drier, warmer, sunnier the rest of the week with a shower or thunderstorm here or there. All right, got my work duties to do here. Just wanted to check in with you guys quickly. Palma, me, and Bill. We'll see you back at the Irish Pub next Sunday at 7 p.m. Thanks for being here. Remember, the Irish Pub, even in this bad weather, they're open 11:30 a.m. to 12 midnight every day, 7 days a week during these times. You can social distance. You can still enjoy the great food, the great patio with the outdoor dining. And this TFT is brought to you by the New Jersey Coastal Coalition, meant to, increase awareness, which is what we try to do every week, on flooding, on storms, on hurricanes, and bring you great guests in the process. And look forward to resuming that next week. Lester Block, nice to have you. Hope you have a good week. Hope it's a good bird watching week for you as well. And we'll see you guys back here soon.